Good morning, everybody. So we had a good 4-day-ish hike from what was it? Hamburg, Pennsylvania. We're at Delaware Water Gap right now, right at the New Jersey border. So that puts us at the completion point for Pennsylvania, and I cannot get past these rocks fast enough. Well, I can't because they're really slowing me down. But regardless, they should be ending soon. We've heard anywhere from 20 to 50 miles, but I don't necessarily trust anybody's distance judgments. And so we're going to be heading out and moving pretty quick. We took it slower than we probably would have otherwise. Dan had just done a bunch of 30s and the terrain was terrible, so none of us really wanted to go too far. Well, I didn't. And any given day, and we didn't. So that worked out well. We resupplied, stayed at a Presbyterian church last night. I'm actually still in the parking lot right now. The rocks have been absolutely brutal. There was one climb where we were scrambling over boulders, like on the side of a mountain. And then just a lot of like painful, slow hiking. I've got some video of the trail, and I don't know if it necessarily does it justice, but it's just been very slow going the last couple hundred miles, probably 150 or so. We're at mile marker 1295 or something like that, so we'll hit 1300 this morning. We're going to do 32 today, and then like 37 tomorrow, and then do a 10-miler after that to get into New York. And there's like a drive-in movie theater that we're going to stay at, which will be great. Probably get in there pretty early, have time to do laundry and all that fun stuff, and resupply again. But it's going to be a grind. We're going to get there 3 days regardless. We might not do 37 tomorrow. We might do 25 and save some miles for the next day. But regardless, Pennsylvania, West Virginia, Virginia, Tennessee, North Carolina, and Georgia are all in the books, which puts us at 7 states out of 14 states checked off. New Jersey will get checked off in about 3 days. New York in probably the same amount of time, maybe a little bit longer. We're going to try and do a 200-mile week at some point, which will be 330s at 20 and then 330s. Probably a little bit more than 200, but that's kind of what we're driving at. Get some big miles in. Oh man, my hair looks terrible. I need to get this like fixed when I get home. The undercut did not grow out that well on that side. This side looks a lot better. And then I got a request for more camp life and food. So I'm still trying to do camp cooking with college. It's just a matter of finding the right time. Hopefully that'll happen soon. Might not be for a little while until we like chop our mileage down and are able to actually be in camp when there's daylight. I would have liked to have done it yesterday, but I got in a little too late, and college was sorry, checking something else out. College already made dinner, so it was what it was. I do have an example of what I eat for lunch. I do have an example of the shelter. I've been staying in the shelters for a while now. It's just a lot more convenient than setting up a tent, and it's where all the action is anyway. And since I'm an early riser, the noise doesn't typically bother me, whereas some people like to stay in a tent because it's a bit quieter in the morning. I don't think what else there was to talk about. Still on track for the 28th of September. I think we've got 7 miles banked, and we're going to get another 20 or so banked in the next 3 days. The whole idea behind banking miles is that because Dan needs to leave for home before September's over, we want to get up to Katahdin by the 28th. That gives him a little buffer. However, knowing that the whites can be problematic, we are building up some buffer time so that if there is bad weather, we're not trying to make the decision of like, do we hike in it or not? We can just chill out and we won't be behind, which is definitely the way to go, because the whites are not necessarily the most forgiving when it comes to weather, but I'm sure we'll be fine. Trying to think. Not cooking is going well. Do a pizza wrap at night. Might show you that tonight. I'm not trying to I'm very careful about what I do put up here. I'm not trying to put other people's business on the internet without them knowing or without their explicit consent. So that means you're not going to see a lot of the people that I'm hiking with, just because I want to respect their privacy. That's about it. Decent views in a couple spots, but nothing special. We're not really that high right now. I think the max that we go up to is like 2,500 feet, maybe 3 in some spots. We're doing a lot of ridge walking now, which is fine. Really just hoping that the rocks subside. They were a lot better yesterday, but it's still not easy. Really, really hate Pennsylvania. There's no redeeming factor about this state in any way whatsoever. There's nothing good here. The Penguins and the Flyers are here. The Eagles and Steelers are here. Nothing good. Nothing good whatsoever. That's about it. I will try and do another update in 3 days when we're at the movie theater, and hopefully have some good views. Getting up to Bear Mountain in New York is going to be cool, because apparently you can see the New York City skyline, so I'm going to grab a shot at that if it is visible, given what weather might be out there. But all is good, and we continue to press forward. Talk to you guys soon. All right, so I had a request for an example of what our camp looks like, and since I'm not trying to record people and put their business on the internet, I waited till everyone left before I got this. So this is a pretty standard shelter. You got a fire pit here, then there is the shelter itself, and that's my gear right there. Basically what I've been doing since the Smokies, or maybe a little bit after that, I guess, probably since Daleville, is, well, just a lot past it, but anyway, I've been sleeping in the shelters instead of setting up my tent, because it's just so much more convenient. So what I'll do is in here throw in my sleeping pad, my quilt, and a pillow, and just lay down on the floor there, and then hang my bag from one of the hooks up here, or the nails, so that I don't have to worry about mice as much. They've got like a broom to sweep stuff out. The spring is across the trail. It's a stream. There's usually one pretty close to all the shelters. There's also usually a picnic table. The last few haven't had them. These are older shelters. This one does have a cooking table so that you can cook without worrying about burning the shelter down. But pretty standard. I've got my food bag's green. I'll take my blue bag out, which is my electronics, and have that near me when I'm sleeping so that I can charge my phone and other stuff. But pretty simple. And then I'll probably get some more setup shots later when we do camp cooking with college, probably in a couple of days, because we're going to be in Delaware Water Gap this evening. So to give you some idea of what the trail is like in Pennsylvania, this is basically one of the rock fields that's, I don't know if you can see it that well, probably better this way, that we got to walk through. And because of the spacing and the different sizes, if you don't put your foot in the right spot,
you'll get a twisted ankle or worse. So it just takes so much time to walk through this area. And this has been going on since Duncannon, at least 100 miles, I think. I don't really know exactly. A long time. Here's a more typical rock field that we would go through. This has been going on for about a quarter mile. And I know you can't tell, but the trail goes straight forward from where I'm standing. So dead center of the screen. Awesome to climb over all this great stuff. No real foot places to go. Just balance on rocks. So I just pulled off the trail to show you guys what I eat for lunch normally. This is my food bag. It's a 18-liter stuff sack, and that's my garbage bag. This is what I've been eating for lunch the last couple of days. Typically have a protein bar, typically have cheese crackers. Don't usually have two, but I usually have something else, kind of cheddar or cheese and crackery, like Cheez-Its or Goldfish or something. When I can get Go-Go Squeeze, I get them. This is a bigger one that I found for the first time in Walmart, so I was really happy about that. These are really good. I just started getting them. Jif Power-Ups. They're like granola clusters with peanut butter on the inside, strawberry flavored. Rarity for me, olives. Love olives, but can't always find them in the package like that. And then I've got a couple of sour raisins this time. Usually I get like the yogurt covered ones. But this is more or less a standard lunch for me.